Now, forewarned weather with Ashlee Baracy.
Well, let's go ahead. Hi there, and talk about your weather headlines. And so we do have a marginal risk for strong to severe storms as we head into the later part of the afternoon and evening. The humidity already on the rise. We have a lot of moisture out there from the rain that is pushing through, and that humidity will linger as we head into the weekend. And that could also trigger, with a clashing front, some stronger storms by the time we get into the later part of Saturday. But right now, let's focus on radar, because a lot of folks are waking up to some wet weather out there. Ann Arbor, Canton, Southgate, Detroit, on north, pretty much dealing with the rain now. But folks into Saline and downriver were getting some of that rain earlier this morning. As far as lightning, most of it has subsided, but we are picking up a couple strikes just west of Lansing. So you can see this band of rain, and it does push from west to east. I'll put it into motion in a second. I just want to zoom in real quickly to the pocket of the heaviest rain that we have across southeastern Michigan, and that's closer to Heartland, so the far western edge of our viewing area. But here's the motion for you. We've had quite a bit of lightning by Owasso up towards Saginaw, and then all of this pushing eastward. So what you see pushing through Ann Arbor, Novi, will work its way towards Mount Clemens and Detroit as we go throughout really the next couple of hours. So it's a cloudy, damp start out there, warmer compared to yesterday as we sit at 71 degrees in the city, 68 in Ann Arbor, 69 in Pontiac, and 70 in Monroe, and mainly a light westerly wind, but the wind gusts could get to be stronger as we head into those afternoon storms. So today's forecast, we'll forecast 83 for the afternoon high, low 80s across the board, and those storm chances do increase. I'll widely say after 2 o'clock, but probably a better bet closer to 4. Now we have a marginal level 1 risk for those storms to become severe as we head into the afternoon. Now that's on a 5-level scale, so we're on the lowest level, but nonetheless heightened from a calm day. So we could get some damaging wind gusts, small hail, or flooding. Those would be the 3 primary threats that we're looking at, and that's not a slam dunk, but I really think the gusty winds and some ponding would be what we would anticipate. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, most of that's to our east. You get a little lull. By 2 o'clock, this is where I say you could get a little discrete, isolated storm developing. Better chance, though, for those widespread, more scattered storms by about 4, 5 o'clock. And then by 8, a lot of that is out of here. So late evening, we'll be drying things out. Tomorrow's mainly dry, though you could see a little pop-up shower develop tomorrow as we get in more of the peak heat of the afternoon. So most of us will miss that, but it's just worth mentioning that we could see one develop. So by Friday, 87, mainly dry conditions, but still on the humid side. We're close to 90 on Saturday with some storm chances late, and we'll hold on to that slight chance going into the early part of Sunday, but overall mid to upper 80s. And I just want to show you the latest data coming in. As far as Friday, you see just a smidge of green there, so I think that's more so the humidity, but by the time we get to late Saturday, this model keeping it still west of our area, but we'll be fine-tuning the timeline. We do crank up the heat, though, going into early next week, back close to 90.
Forecast with Ashlee.
And some of the area roads could be wet this morning as we're tracking a band of rain from Lansing all the way up towards Port Huron and down to Detroit. And so you can see some of the raindrops on our camera lens in Windsor. Looking at downtown Detroit, we're sitting right at 70, if not upper 60s in the outlying area. So clouds kept it mild and muggy through the overnight, and we'll have rain chances throughout much of the day. In fact, heading into the afternoon, strong to severe storms could be on tap. We'll be in the low 80s, but we could see some gusty winds and heavy downpours after 2.
Quite an impressive resume there.
That's right. I'm just laughing because Darnell told me to go to the desk, and why would I listen to him? All right. Whatever. Last time I listened to you, Darnell. The one and only time. Exact Track 4D showing that we do have some showers from Lansing towards Mount Clemens, but a lot of this has been lifting as the mornings progressed, and so still a little damp looking out there. But Metro Airport certainly not dealing with the rain that they were dealing with earlier this morning, but it's a lull as we do have chances returning heading into the afternoon. 69 degrees over at Metro Airport, same in Pontiac, 70 degrees in Grosse Ile, 68 in Port Huron, and we have light variable wind out there. So once we get to about 2 o'clock, I think you could see some discrete storms firing off. Better chance, though, for them to be a bit more numerous by 4 o'clock this afternoon, and that's going to take us into the early part of the evening. Then by 8 or so, we should be drying things out. So we do have a couple rounds of shower and storm chances for today. Now, we have a marginal level 1 risk of them reaching severe limits. So this time yesterday, looking ahead to today, Storm Prediction Center did not have us under any threat for severe weather. We figured these would be sub-severe. Now looking at some of the atmospheric ingredients, we could see those wind gusts peak around 50 to 60 miles per hour, which gets us very close to the threshold for a severe thunderstorm warning. Small hail and pockets of some flooding with some heavy downpours can't be ruled out. So here we are for today, all of southeastern Michigan now under that level 1 marginal risk on a 5-level scale. So how does this shake out? Well, you see by 1 o'clock, you have a couple little isolated showers closer to the thumb region, but the bulk of the activity should be east at that point. So you might get a little break. By 2 o'clock, there's a couple of those heavy downpours that might develop, but 4 o'clock onward is where I do think we have that better chance. Still scattered variety across the area. 8, we're drying things out. Tomorrow, mainly dry, but I emphasize the mainly just because I'm not going to rule out isolated pop-up in the afternoon. And that's going to be the same kind of setup for Friday, though. We're going to crank up the temperatures a bit. So 87 Friday, flirting with 90 Saturday with a chance for some storms late that could linger into your Sunday and another slight chance by late Sunday. And models have been fluctuating with the timing a bit. So I'm not going to lock into the timing for Saturday, but at least give you what my best estimate is as we go into the later part of your Saturday. So I would say the bulk of the day is rather dry. It's going to be this massive rain off to the west that either rolls in the evening or potentially not until Saturday night because of it being still west and a little slower moving. So there's that chance for late Saturday. Otherwise, that dips our temperatures to 85 on Sunday, and then we're climbing back close to 90 Monday, Tuesday of next week. That's a look at your 7-day forecast. Darnell?